Do you think the biggest animals in history, just the dinosaurs? Then get ready for a surprise. For millions of years, Earth was dominated by creatures so gigantic they make any African elephant look small. There are multi-ton mastodons, monstrous crocodilians like Deinosuchus, colossal snakes like Titanoboa, terrifying marine predators, and titanosaurs so enormous we can barely imagine their size. Some of these creatures were capable of taking on dinosaurs, while others ruled entire oceans without a single rival. And the most amazing part is that the largest animal ever to exist on the planet didn't live millions of years ago. It's still alive today. In this video, you'll meet the biggest monsters that ever walked, swam, and dominated the Earth, and discover which one sits at the very top of this ranking of giants. Long before humans dominated the planet, enormous mammals roamed vast stretches of the Earth. Among them was the mastodon, a prehistoric giant that lived across the Americas during the Ice Age. Standing about 10 feet tall and weighing up to 6 tons, it used its massive tusks to knock down trees and reach food. Adapted to cold environments, this animal helped shape the landscape wherever it went, functioning almost like a living machine of natural transformation. Another impressive giant was the woolly mammoth, one of the most recognizable symbols of prehistory. Covered in a thick layer of fur, it managed to survive extreme temperatures in icy regions. Some individuals reached up to 11.5 feet tall and could weigh as much as 10 tons. Its enormous tusks weren't just for defense. They were also used to clear away snow and uncover hidden vegetation, an essential skill for surviving in a frozen world. And if you think these giants disappeared completely, there's actually a direct connection to today. The African elephant, the largest living land animal, is a true heir to these colossal ancestors. Standing up to 13 feet tall and weighing around 7 tons, it still impresses with its strength, intelligence, and social organization. But the next animals on our list were even more terrifying, because while these giants were herbivores, the ones coming up had jaws capable of crushing bone and even taking on dinosaurs. Modern crocodiles already command respect, but their prehistoric ancestors took that fear to a whole new level. The saltwater crocodile, the largest living reptile today, can grow over 20 feet long and weigh more than a ton. Its bite is among the most powerful in the animal kingdom, capable of exerting an incredible amount of force. Even so, as frightening as it seems, it would be nothing more than a beginner compared to the giants that once ruled rivers and swamps millions of years ago. One of the most feared was Deinosuchus, a colossal crocodilian that lived about 80 million years ago. At roughly 33 feet long and weighing up to 8 tons, this predator sat at the top of the food chain in many aquatic environments. Fossil evidence suggests it could ambush massive animals that came near the water, including some dinosaurs. Picture a predator lurking beneath the surface, waiting for the perfect moment to launch a devastating attack in a matter of seconds. But there was another equally impressive monster, Sarcosuchus, known to many scientists as the super croc. Living around 112 million years ago, it also reached about 33 feet long and up to 8 tons. Its massive skull was lined with sharp teeth, perfect for catching large fish and other prey. And as frightening as these giants already sound, the next animal on our list makes even these monsters look small. We're talking about the largest snake that ever existed on Earth. If running into a snake just a few feet long would already be enough to scare most people, imagine crossing paths with the largest serpent ever to exist on the planet. Titanoboa lived about 60 million years ago, not long after the extinction of the dinosaurs, in the warm, swampy regions of South America. For millions of years, it ruled its environment as one of the most impressive creatures evolution has ever produced. Fossils indicate that this gigantic snake could reach approximately 43 feet in length and weigh over a ton. To put that in perspective, it was longer than a city bus. Unlike the giant crocodilians, Titanoboa didn't rely on a powerful bite to kill its prey. Its main hunting method was constriction, wrapping its muscular body around its victim until it completely cut off its ability to breathe. Scientists believe the tropical swamps where Titanoboa lived provided the perfect conditions for it to reach such impressive proportions. In a world warmer than today's, this snake reigned with practically no competition. But as terrifying as it was, the next giants on our list didn't slither through the swamps. They walked on two legs, had terrifying teeth, and became some of the most famous predators in Earth's history, the great carnivorous dinosaurs. When most people think of prehistoric monsters, it's the giant carnivorous dinosaurs that come to mind. And it's not hard to see why. These predators dominated different regions of Earth for millions of years, sitting at the top of the food chain. With dozens of sharp teeth, gigantic bodies, and impressive strength, they turned any environment into a place where only the strongest survived. Among them, the most famous is undoubtedly the Tyrannosaurus rex, or simply T-Rex. Living around 66 million years ago, this giant could reach over 12 meters, 39 feet, in length and weigh up to 9 tons. Its bite is considered one of the most powerful ever recorded among land animals, capable of crushing bone with ease. Even today, few creatures in history can rival the combination of size, strength, and destructive power of this legendary predator. But the T-Rex wasn't alone in the race for the title of largest land hunter. The Giganotosaurus from South America could reach about 13 meters, 43 feet in length, while the Spinosaurus grew to an impressive 15 meters, 49 feet, and had semi-aquatic habits, along with its famous dorsal sail over 2 meters, 6.5 feet, tall. Each of these giants ruled its own territory, but the next monsters on our list left dry land behind to conquer an even vaster and more dangerous environment, the prehistoric oceans. If the great dinosaurs ruled the land, prehistoric seas had creatures that were even more terrifying. In an environment where visibility was limited and danger could strike from any direction, enormous predators patrolled the oceans in search of food. Many of them reached staggering sizes and sat at the top of the food chain, turning ancient seas into true kingdoms of giants. One such monster was a Kronosaurus, a marine reptile that could reach about 12 meters, 39 feet, in length and weigh up to 10 tons. Armed with powerful jaws and sharp teeth, it hunted sea turtles, large fish, and even other marine reptiles. Its combination of speed and strength made it one of the most efficient predators of its time, capable of catching prey that few animals would dare to challenge. But the Kronosaurus wasn't the only terror of the oceans. The Mosasaurus took the concept of apex predator to another level. At up to 17 meters, 56 feet, long and around 15 tons, this giant hunted sharks, giant turtles, and other large marine animals. Its presence alone was enough to turn any stretch of ocean into a danger zone. And even these impressive monsters would be outdone by the giant herbivores that would emerge on land, some of the largest animals ever to walk the planet. When we think of giants, it's common to picture fierce predators dominating everything around them. But the truth is that some of the largest animals ever to walk the earth were herbivores. Feeding exclusively on vegetation, these colossi grew to astonishing sizes over millions of years, becoming true living mountains that roamed forests and plains in search of food. One of the most impressive examples was the Diplodocus, one of the largest sauropods ever discovered. At about 27 meters, 89 feet, long and roughly 16 tons, it had an extremely long neck that let it reach large amounts of vegetation without constantly having to move. Its enormous whip-like tail could also serve as a defense against potential threats, making this giant even more remarkable. But if the Diplodocus already seemed enormous, the Paraceratherium raised the bar for giant mammals to another level. Considered the largest land mammal ever discovered, this distant relative of the rhinoceros could reach about 8 meters, 26 feet, in height and up to 20 tons. Living in Asia tens of millions of years ago, it dominated its environment thanks to its colossal size. And despite all that grandeur, the next animals on our list would make even these giants look small. Now let's dive into the world of prehistoric whales and colossal marine mammals. The oceans weren't ruled by giant reptiles alone. Over millions of years, colossal marine mammals emerged and became some of the most astonishing animals to ever exist. Thanks to the buoyancy provided by water, these creatures were able to reach sizes that would be impossible on land. And among them were predators capable of taking on some of the largest prey in the ancient seas. One of the most impressive examples was the Livyatan, a predatory whale that lived about 12 million years ago. At approximately 17 meters, 56 feet, long and up to 50 tons, this giant had teeth that could exceed 36 centimeters, 14 inches in length. Unlike modern whales that filter tiny organisms, the Livyatan was an active hunter, capable of attacking other whales and contesting territory with the largest marine predators of its time. Another extraordinary giant was the Basilosaurus, one of the first great whales in the evolutionary history of marine mammals. Living around 40 million years ago, it could reach about 18 meters, 59 feet, in length and weigh around 20 tons. Despite looking similar to modern whales, it still retains small vestigial hind leg structures, a reminder of its land-dwelling ancestors. And while these giants were impressive, the next animals on our list would take the concept of extreme size to an even more absurd level. If you think you've already seen the biggest sea monsters in history, get ready, because the next giants will challenge your imagination. For millions of years, Earth's oceans were home to creatures so enormous that they ruled entire seas as their territory. Some were ruthless predators, while others survived by feeding on tiny organisms, but they all had one thing in common: their absolutely colossal size. One of the most impressive was Shanosaurus, a massive ichthyosaur that lived around 215 million years ago. Measuring approximately 69 feet, 21 meters, in length and weighing around 30 tons, it was one of the largest marine reptiles ever discovered. Alongside it was Leadsichthys, the largest bony fish known to science. Despite reaching about 66 feet 20 meters in length and weighing roughly 30 tons, it wasn't a fearsome hunter. Like some modern whales, it fed by filtering enormous amounts of tiny organisms from the water. But when it comes to giant predators, few names spark as much curiosity as Megalodon. Considered the largest shark to have ever lived, it could grow to nearly 66 feet 20 meters, long and weigh around 60 tons. Its teeth, measuring more than 7 inches 18 centimeters, were perfectly designed for attacking large whales and other giant prey. For millions of years, this super predator ruled the oceans with virtually no rivals. Now we arrive at the group that pushed body size to its absolute limit on land. For millions of years, titanosaurs and other giant sauropods dominated ecosystems across the planet, reaching such extraordinary dimensions that even today's largest land animals seem small by comparison. These giants consumed enormous amounts of vegetation every single day to sustain their colossal bodies, making them some of the most remarkable creatures evolution has ever produced. Among these giants was Dreadnoughtus, discovered in what is now Argentina and considered one of the largest land animals ever found. It measured about 85 feet 26 meters, long and weighed approximately 59 tons. Its name means the one who fears nothing. Another famous giant was Brachiosaurus, which reached around 72 feet, 22 meters, in length and weighed roughly 50 tons. Its towering neck allowed it to feed on vegetation growing at heights that were inaccessible to most other animals of its time. But the true record holders reached an even more astonishing level. Argentinosaurus may have grown to around 115 feet, 35 meters, in length and weighed an incredible 100 tons. Supersaurus stretched to nearly 115 feet, 35 meters, while Patagotitan reached approximately 121 feet, 37 meters, and weighed about 70 tons. Imagine creatures larger than many buildings walking across the earth. Yet, as unbelievable as it sounds, none of them takes the #1 spot on our list. After discovering giant dinosaurs, monstrous crocodilians, colossal snakes, and terrifying marine predators, it's finally time to reveal the true champion in the history of life on Earth. And the most surprising part is that this record holder didn't live millions of years ago. It still inhabits our oceans today. We're talking about the blue whale, the largest animal ever known to have lived on Earth, outweighing even the biggest titanosaurs. An adult blue whale can reach about 108 feet, 33 meters, in length and an astonishing 200 tons. To put that into perspective, it weighs more than many giant dinosaurs combined. Its heart can be as large as a small car, and its calls are among the most powerful sounds in the animal kingdom, capable of traveling vast distances through the ocean. Despite its enormous size, it feeds primarily on tiny crustaceans known as krill. The blue whale is proof that evolution has produced creatures capable of surpassing every imaginable limit. No other known animal, whether mammal, dinosaur, marine reptile, or giant snake, has ever exceeded its body mass. And that leads to a fascinating question. How many other giants may still be waiting to be discovered in the pages of our planet's history? After exploring some of the largest animals that have ever lived on Earth, it's hard not to be amazed by what nature has created over millions of years. From prehistoric giants like the mastodon, Titanoboa, and Argentinosaurus to terrifying marine monsters like Megalodon, we've seen that our planet was once home to creatures that seemed straight out of a science fiction movie. And in the end, the title of the largest animal of all time belongs to the blue whale, a giant that still swims through our oceans today. Now I want to hear from you. Which of these incredible creatures impressed you the most? Let me know in the comments below and join the conversation. And if you enjoy videos about animals, dinosaurs, giant creatures, and prehistoric mysteries, be sure to subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications, and don't miss our upcoming videos, because there are still many incredible stories waiting to be discovered.